day 3, January 2023. We will move with the second part as using the Cognus. The first part we had the use the defense, the second one as commercial. We will review both and have some lines here about the rights and guarantees. We'll check please the Brazilian Constitution one more time. The Article 5 is about guarantees of individuals and groups. Individual, a single person; groups, family, a moral entity, a group of interest in something legal. It's saying that she has the right, security, property, the freedom, and the life and others. The guarantee number 5 is ensured the responsiveness and reply by proportion against the aggression suffered and the compensation by the damage you suffer. Kind of trying to put you as a criminal, or having you dead by something that's not real. It's the guarantee number 6. You can't violate the freedom as consciousness. The guarantee number 8. No one can have rights suppressed by philosophical conviction or political ideology and conviction. For instance, it may pursue the happiness because I believe in a speech of the Republican Great Old Party in USA. I can't be suppressed at this. Or if I believe in the French Revolution values as the brotherhood, the freedom, and the equality, I can't be suppressed at this. Guarantee number 9. The expression of intellectual activity, science, and communication is free. Do not need an authorization or a license. Number 10. Guarantee. You can violate by no circumstance the intimacy, the private life, the image of a person as an individual or group, putting the interest as criminal interest. Guarantee number 11. The house can't be violated. The house of the individual can't be violated by no circumstance. Number 12. The secrecy of mailbox as communication and data and phone calls can't be violated by no circumstance. The exception at the phone call by a judicial order signed by a judge. If it's illegal, the integration as a unique judicial power qualified the state as criminal state and started at the judicial system, confirmed by overpayment and frauds on budget. Not only in Brazil, because the silence is a crime. Guarantee number 13. It's free. The duty as work or profession, since you qualified. Guarantee number 14. It's ensured for everybody and anyone the access to the information, but you can respect a secrecy of the source, if necessary, to the professional activity. The guarantee 22. The property is a guarantee. And guarantee 33. Everybody and everyone has the right to receive public data of your own interest as individual or groups both protected by the Constitution, or general, as we all and diffuse, like consume and others. Guarantee number 41, the law must do the punishment against discrimination and aggressions of rights and essential freedom, fundamental freedoms. We will have another thing on Article 37. It's told that the regression is made against institution until the chairs. We will have the diary, and day one, Cgqm Cognus requesting to recognize crime system by power misuse, including OC, terror, etc. Annihilation, risk acting, and then we are acting as self-defense even under suppressive ways, or illicit interference by no excuse acts, offer the architecture, hate, and sage. IoT report to US Defensive System and IBM as pro bono, contributor, stakeholder, believing in a better future for mankind as a way to pursue at least my own happiness, affected by criminal use of power. Legal interests in the community, American people, and also all others represented at the US Preamble. We had the essay as result using the sage. Different curves representing different things with internal elements that can be under a crosscut, and indeed it's a crosscut. Requesting hearing procedure on embassy of institutional power, previously at local organized crime, that got a migration to the transnational organized crime, having the conflict of interest inside the transnational organized crime, in both centers acting by no excuse acts against the constitutional guarantees of individuals and groups in Brazil, having the hearing procedure of them about the interests on embassies, for instance, USA, Portugal, Europe system and community, European community, and they will talk things being conflict with between the organized crime local and transnational organized crime as migration, a conflict inside this organized crime, and also in both cases by no excuse as the state or institutional power. G20 in Brazil go like this. We sustained the complaint in the International Criminal Court and Antitrust Justice, USA and Europe, and mentioned arguments to satisfy by model created this disrespected theory and the guarantee as compensation. I can't put this away. The 40 trillion payroll will be paid. The case will be satisfied too, including the punishment and the consequence against economic espionage, obstruction, doing the local application internationally to do the international application at local against groups that are doing criminal practice by no excuse, misuse of power, regressed from institution and duties according with the Constitution in Brazil. And the general rational expectation at war. We will review this first part, which was the SAGE as military defense. Then day 3 and 4, independent effort presented a theory about economic and financial control that turned into a self-defense portfolio based on a struggle to survive. Nobody can be forced to be a criminal or be under illicit and continual threats from institutional and state power misused at the chair level. We offered the US defensive system based on this report and IBM Cognus Sense, a commercial thing. We use our theory to make an essay as optimization of this. The interference before we set the concept of this and the wire data taxa is a reality because it comes at least since 2014 by no excuse, as we proved. My profession is administration, but was also violated. I'm not James Bond, as you can see. The idea developed and presented as pro bono if what was necessary, because the motivation was and remains against the crime, which violated so many basic rights or essential guarantees that pushed the feeling about how accustomed with our institution and states. The blind eye go on institution and state. At that crosscut, it's always illegal. The rational architecture is set for conviction. We will have the payment, which is not a payment but a compensation. I can put this away. The rational architecture as defense will give me at first the idea, which is different zones, different interests on it. The area A, for instance, the struggle nation Russia and the Ukraine will have interest as keep the war, not keep the war, keep the war, not keep the war. The areas 1, and 0, are expressed here, and the expression as interest and motivation now will be kind of like this. The areas A and B with interest A and B, right? The common interest of them both can be keep the war, not keep the war, sustain the peace, not sustain the peace. Such ways to achieve the peace, do not such ways to achieve the peace. It's an exclusive decision because the COBOL works like this, but not only having the identification as your ground environment, but which is the grounded motivation and intent on it with the substance. Then we will check something like this. That's the Cognus now commercial thing. I will have my cloud. For instance, the IBM became a cloud company, but it's a full service provider since crude instruments until the ultimate prediction of the future. Which kind of future do you need or do you want to have? People as customers will use the cloud service of a provider, for instance, the Google. If you did violation at the Google architecture as operational system, the public DNS that is public for use, but the information it's not public, can be violated in Brazil. And we will have a lot of applications at the mobile, some for business, some for entertainment, some for a lot of things. But the interference you do at the signal of your mobile will change the quality of your mobile as used, and will sooner or later affect the cloud as service. And you will check that the Cognus do the reading of your instrument and can identify the corruption or the interference at the signal, considering the communication structure that in Brazil has, like all other things, a parallel mobilization, including resources and military effort, inside the security forum, criminal organization, and other things. And will transfer the information of both to an instrument on outspace that will reply to the instrument as receiver that will feed the cloud as IBM service. With this information, to the entire cloud administration and cybersecurity, right? Of course, that's probably by payment. It will be a political price or offer made by the company as the heads, the investors, and at this time we will have the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the CIA, the Secret Service at the main room, because a criminal investor is a criminal changing the future of this century company. And they will be sent to jail at this, because it's the law not only in Brazil but in USA. If you are a criminal, you probably will be sent to jail by a judicial order, or you will suffer a constraint as internal politics and policy of the company, according with the US preamble, in any part of the globe, especially if made inside the American embassy, with total transparency and accomplished by levels and requirements satisfied. Any question or anything else I can do? Have a great day and weekend.